Hello. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my studio, and welcome to my little knitting podcast called Alex Likes to Knit. This is episode 9, so if this is your first one, welcome. I'm so happy you're here, and if you are a returning viewer, you're honestly my hero. If you have not been here before, welcome. My name is Alex. I am an artist, an art student, and a knitting enthusiast, currently based in San Antonio, Texas. And in this podcast, I talk about everything I'm knitting and working on, plans, goals, and just my thoughts on all of my different projects. It's pretty laid back. I knit a lot of socks, and I just really like to share and talk about knitting and yarn. So I'm so glad you're here. Sit back and relax. This one might be a little bit long. Yeah. So I am going to go through quite a few things today. I have a lot of things to share. A lot has happened. It's been a few weeks since I recorded the last podcast, so I have a few finished objects. And last weekend I went to DFW Fiberfest in Dallas, and I got some yarn, I got some inspiration, and I'm so excited to start some new projects for fall. So this is going to be a regular podcast with some finished objects and stuff, and then I really want to talk about the plans that I have coming up for my yarn that I just bought at DFW. So let's talk about finished objects first. The first finished object that I want to talk about is no longer in my possession because it has been gifted to my sister. And it is that striped vest that I was working on for probably close to a month. I was working on it. I'll put up some pictures. I have some in progress pictures of me wearing it, as well as a picture of it blocking. And she has received it and she likes the way it fits. It looks great on her, and so I'm really happy that I was able to make that and give that to her. Some details on the project. The pattern is the Kreuzberg vest by Rebecca Mouser. I made the 3rd size. I do think it came out a little bit bigger than that. My gauge tends to be kind of loose, and I thought it was pretty close, but I think it still came out pretty loose. But I'm gonna try to update my projects page with actually how many rows and everything I put in there, just in case anyone is interested. I did follow the pattern exactly until I got to the length, because I was just trying to do what worked for my stripe pattern and the amount of yarn that I had, because I started to run out at the end. The yarn that I used was Knit Picks Swish Worsted. So it is 100% superwash merino, and I used 7 different colors. So I'll see if I have those colors, I'll put them on my Ravelry page. But that yarn is great because it comes in so many different colors, so it's really fun for stripes. It's also really affordable and comes in 50-gram balls. So my contrast colors, I only got 1 50-gram ball of each color, and it was almost not enough, but it was enough, so it's fine. But yeah, that's my first finished object. I don't have it with me because it has been gifted. I have finished other things as well. They are socks. Let me show you the 2 socks which were works in progress last episode. I had started both of these. So the Tweedy socks, these are Knit Pick Stroll Tweed, so just a super basic vanilla sock. My other one, this color is called Sequoia Heather, so it's a really dark green. It almost comes across black in some light, but it's definitely a deep green. And then the tweed is tan, black, white, There's some greens in the tweed. And yeah, it's just very, very, very fall, especially late fall, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, that kind of vibe with these. My other finished pair of socks are my spooky stripy socks. These also are just a vanilla sock, and I was alternating colors every 4 rows and just carried the yarn. I still need to weave in ends on this. But yeah, I just kept the yarn attached and carried the yarn up the side, and I was careful to, because it does have like a jog. I have the jog on opposite sides so that you can wear them with the jog on the inside, and the outside will have that smooth, the smooth stripe line on the outside of the ankle instead of on the, like the jog that will be on the inside. But I'm really, really happy with how these came out. I'm excited to start wearing them because it is September 19th today as I'm filming. So, I mean, October's about to start, and I'm going to try to wear these as much as I can. I'm so happy that it is fall, even though it doesn't really feel like fall yet here in Texas. We got a little bit of rain, we got a little bit of not so hot weather, so you can tell it's coming. And I'm really excited about it. I do have plans for this yarn to make some more Halloween socks, but as you'll see in my acquisitions and plans and everything, I have a lot going on, so that might not happen. And even if I don't make another pair of Halloween socks, I'm really happy with how these came out, and I'm proud of myself. So one more, well, okay, I'm gonna call this a finished object because I definitely will be like wearing these and not showing them next podcast because they're so close to being done. So if I wait 2 more weeks to film again, like I don't want to just put them on hold for 2 weeks so that I can show you. So these are some shorty socks. Need to weave in the end. So there it is. I'll put these on put this one on the blocker so you can see the shape. If you've been here a little while, you've probably heard me talk about my sort of recipe for shorty socks that I was kind of working on. So I put some fold over elastic in the cuff. So it's a sock neck cuff and then fold it over with some soft elastic on the inside. And then I do an extra deep heel, so I have a lot of extra room for the instep. And then I have 50 rounds on the foot, and then I do a little square toe. So that's what I did here, and they fit great, just like the other ones did. And then the reason why it's not quite a finished object is because I still need to finish the toe on my second sock here. But I am so happy with these. Let me show you my yarn. I do actually have the tags for these in my little project bag. So the main color is Teeny Button Studio. It's a New Orleans hand dyer, and this base is called Soft Sock, and it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And then Audubon is the colorway name. The mini is not from Teeny Button. The mini is from Alexandra, The Art of Yarn. And it's also 75-25. I don't know the colorway name, but it's like this deep teal blue. So I got this yarn because a few weeks ago, at the end of last month, I was in New Orleans to meet my new baby nephew, and I was able to visit a yarn store while I was there called Needle Arts NOLA. And so I wanted to get a New Orleans hand dyer, so I was really happy to find this Teeny Button yarn. But also Alexandra, The Art of Yarn, Alexandra was there doing a trunk show. So she's not from New Orleans. I'm not sure where she's from. Somewhere like far. I'm not sure, but she was there, so I got to meet her, which was really cool too. So I didn't want to get too skeins, so I got these two kind of coordinating colors from the two different brands. And I really like the socks, and of course I have a ton left over since it was shorties, so I might make someone else a pair of shorties with this or something like that. I'm not sure. The rest of my little mini, I want to start collecting like little 10-gram balls and stuff of hand-dyed yarn to be able to do swaps and things like that, since I've been getting more into hand-dyed yarn. So I think I'll see how much this is and maybe hold on to this for something like that. I want to like keep them, like if this is 10 grams or if it's more than 10 grams, roll off 10 grams and then label it like to say the brand and the base and everything. And then I can like put them together and have a little like advent type set of sock yarn of 10-gram minis that I could like swap or something like that. So that is kind of my plan for this little guy, and this I'll probably make someone else a pair of shorties with a different color as the contrast color. Okay, so we'll say those are my finished objects, and now we can talk about works in progress. And I don't have a ton because I finished that vest and I have not yet started a new like main project. That vest was really my main focus for a while there. And what is kind of weird now is I'm working on some knitting projects for my school projects. So I think what I want to do is like talk a little bit about it as like a work in progress, but it may end up being another video. It's kind of hard to, there's a lot going on with it, so it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, it's just one of my projects, because it's a big commitment and it's a lot of kind of my life right now. But let me tell you guys a little bit about my main sort of school project that I'm working on that is very much knitting related. It is all knitting. So I am calling this project my 100 socks project. That's a working title because I probably won't actually do 100, at least not for the show at the end of the semester. But the idea is to knit a bunch of socks that I can display all together. Okay, wait, let me go back because I said like I'm in art school, I'm an art student. So I am graduating this semester in December with my BFA, Bachelor in Fine Arts. And as part of your BFA, you do a show, a BFA exhibition with everyone else who is graduating. So there's about 35 of us who are graduating from my school this semester with our BFA, and we are all putting on a show together. You can make whatever you want. It can be representative of like you and your time in school. It's very open. What I've really been trying to make and talk about in my school work is sort of the line between art and craft, specifically thinking about knitting and quilting as fine art mediums because they are so vast in what you can make. There's so much complexity and so much to learn and to master whenever you become a knitter or a quilter. And so I want to kind of push those specifically to be my art, and kind of like, it's like asking if that is allowed or something like that. So for this project, what I'm going to make is just a bunch of hand knit socks. I am going to do like maybe 16, 20, 25, maybe 15, something that I can display in like a grid of like single socks. And I am going to do them all the same color. They're all like an off-white color, and I'm doing a bunch of different like texture and cable and lace patterns. So I want this to be this really big piece, like this big grid that's very white and kind of minimalist, but has all of this detail that you can really look at and dig into. And that's something that I really like about like modern, like contemporary art, that I think is really I like it when something is really monumental, it's really big and exciting and pretty, and it also has these small details that you can kind of discover as you get closer and spend time with it. That is what I want this piece to be. And it's going to just be about the socks, and because it's the socks, it becomes about the knitting community and the women who design the patterns and everyone who knits and everyone who has historically knitted. It's about elevating the everyday, wearing something that is handmade that takes so long on your feet, and using it like a normal everyday object is something that I think is really interesting and exciting, for especially for people to think about it who don't ever do that. So yeah, I'm making a big wall of socks basically. So let me show y'all the ones that I've made so far, and maybe I can do a separate video, especially as it gets closer and it's more like I can really explain what it's gonna look like, have a lot of pictures and stuff like that. I could make a video maybe explaining the work a little bit further. But these are the first two that I did. I need to weave in some ends on these, but yeah, it's a sock. This one is based, the texture is based on the String of Lights pattern by Soft Witchery, because I have that pattern and I enjoy it and I like the way it looks. I'm not really following any like patterns exactly. I want it to just be about like the collective and not be like individual like sock patterns that people have designed. I thought about kind of going that route and trying to like call to attention the designers of the patterns, which I still like that idea. I just don't think that it's going to work with the timeline and everything that I have. I'd really like to like reach out to designers and talk about the design and put that into like a fine art perspective, and talk about hand-dyed yarn and talk about like everything that goes into it and all the different artists and designers that are part of the process. But I think what I need to do for this piece is to have it be about the collective, how to have it be about the idea of a hand knit sock and just kind of what that can be. So that's why I decided to make them all the same color. They're all the same like height and size. So I made like little paper sock blockers. So I make them fit on these. So they're all gonna be very uniform. This is the next one that I made. This lace pattern is the Woodland Walk pattern. I downloaded this one because it is free on Ravelry. So I'll have to try to link that one down below. It's a really pretty lace pattern that makes these like leaves coming down. Another thing I had to do for these is they're a bit smaller than what I would do to fit my foot. So maybe you're able to tell this is smaller than my sock blocker I was holding earlier. These are only 48 stitches around, and I think that I wanted to go a little bit smaller because a sock on a sock blocker I think feels big to someone who doesn't knit socks. I don't think people realize that they don't stretch as much as a normal sock, and like it seems like a big like man's sock or something, even though it's not. So I just went a little bit smaller to maybe, this is probably more like a child size sock, but I think that it's still going to come across as like a small adult sock. I don't know. We'll see. You may not think that because you're a knitter, but I did get some feedback from some people who are not knitters and they think the size will work. And then this will fit in a 9x12 piece of paper, so that I can potentially frame them, or I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to like hang them. I did one more. Here it is. I really liked the texture of this one. It got a little annoying after a while of doing it, but it's so pretty. This is called like the Cozy Autumn Socks. This is another like free Ravelry pattern for the texture. And since I have 48 stitches across, I did like the pattern that was for 72 and did less, that it would be a 12 row repeat, 12 stitch repeat. And then I did like a partridge heel. I'm kind of just like doing my own thing for the heels and everything to make them different and kind of do whatever I think will work and whatever I feel like doing at the moment. Because I have so many of these to do, I need to just keep making them at this point. But yeah, I'm excited about that project. Really cool, because this is it's like just getting started, but I don't have that much time to do this. I have to turn these in to be hung in the gallery in like 7 weeks. And I'd really like to make 20 or 30 socks, so I'm trying to do like one every 2 days is really what I need to be doing, so I need to get on it. So yeah, just one of my whips, you know, just something I'm working on. Okay, I don't think my mom and dad have been watching these, but if you are my mom or my dad, this is for you. So everyone, this is a gift from my parents. So look away, mom and dad. It is a blanket. It's so big. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is looking so good. The texture looks so good. It's so big. It's so big. Yay, I'm knitting a giant blanket. I talked about this before. I'm using the Comfort Knit Pet Blanket pattern, and I'm making it bigger. I have got 16 balls of Knit Picks Brava Bulky. So I'm using a bulky acrylic yarn, and the color is Berlin, I believe, that dark green. And I did change the pattern a little bit because I made it bigger, so I also made the border bigger. I need to make a project page for that and put details on it, but I just had to show y'all I really am making progress on that, and I'm loving it. Yeah, the only other things are that yellow hat. I'm still working on a yellow hat. I'll probably finish it by next time because it is getting closer to being done now. And I'm still working on a pair of Seasons socks, which have just been put on the back burner because I have all of these textured socks to do for this project. So they're just hanging out. Definitely still plan on finishing those, but they're just slow going, but that's no big deal. Yeah, so I think that's all of the whips, because I have some yarn that will soon become whips. So let's talk acquisitions, plans. I'm not a big proponent of sharing yarn that you bought just to share yarn that you bought, but that's kind of what I'm about to do because this is really exciting to me and I do have plans for the yarn. I went into the festival like I really wanted to be super intentional about what I was going to make with the yarn that I was buying. I already had ideas and plans for what I wanted to buy. I have make-alongs I want to enter, I have specific patterns I want to make, so I did get things for 4 projects, so I'll show all of them. So here it is, the DFW Fiberfest haul. Let me walk you through it. Man, the weekend really was so awesome. I So I went to Dallas and I was able to stay with a good friend of mine. So Julie did come with me to the Fiber Festival for a little bit on Friday, and then I went by myself for a while on Saturday, and then I came back Saturday afternoon. So it was a really great weekend. It was cool showing my non-knitter friend like all the yarn stuff. I think that she was overwhelmed and impressed and had a good time. Anyway, so when I was there with her on the first day, Friday, I just got this one small purchase. So this is from Leading Men Fiber Arts. I got these 2 skeins. So this is a half skein of sock yarn. So they call these intermission. Showstopper intermission. Showstopper is their sock, their like main sock base. So it's 50 grams of 75/25 superwash merino nylon. This colorway is called Popeye's Delight, so like a spinach colorway, and then I got a mini to go with it to make my own little sock set. I know 50 grams plus a mini is plenty to make a pair of socks, so I thought this was a perfect little purchase to make some socks. And I just saw Nitty Natty doing videos with Leading Men Fiber Arts, and I knew about the brand, but like I didn't like know about it. So I just saw like their like dye studio tour and them doing the colorway with Nitty Natty, and like seeing them work on it and everything, and seeing their space. Well, that was like a week ago, and then I saw them in person, which was really cool. It's kind of a little bit like, are you famous? They were both there. So that was really cool, and I was happy to get some things from them. This color for my mini is called And Then There's Maud. I don't know what that means, but I thought it was a nice fall combination, right? Yeah, I think these are going to be really nice together. So yeah, just some socks. I won't talk about that for too long. I'm probably gonna make some ankle socks like these, or maybe do like a little bit of a taller cuff. Maybe do like a 30 round cuff, 30 round leg, 20 round cuff, something like that. Like do kind of a short sock, or maybe I can find something in my stash that would go with it too, and I could do a tall sock. I'm not sure, but I like those, and I'm gonna make a pair of socks with those probably soon. Okay. Okay, one more sock plan, and then I'll show you all my other things. So I got this wild sock yarn from a chick that knits. This is also something that Nitty Natty was talking about, a chick that knits really recently, and like met her, went to her studio and stuff, and was talking about her colorways, and her like booth at DFW was beautiful. It was really cool. This color, if you know me, you may know this is really bright for me, but I was with my friend Julie, right? And that first day that I was there with her, I was trying to get an idea of what kind of colors and stuff she liked, and she really likes green, especially like dark bright green and teal and stuff like that, and I just knew that she would love this color. So I got a 100 gram skein so that I can make us both a pair of socks with these. So I'll probably make her a pair of tall socks and myself a pair of shorty socks, just because I think most people, like for wearing a pair of wool socks, would probably want to like wear it during the winter, like with boots and stuff. But shorty socks is like perfect for me. So I think that'll be really fun. It'll be a little memory. Had to get that from a chick that knits. Now, the projects that I actually had planned, I was going in with 2 project plans, and the first one was to make a vest. This is my vest color. So the first day I was looking at worsted, because I just recently made that vest for my sister with the stripes, and that is a worsted weight vest, and I liked the weight of it, that it was kind of chunky. I didn't have any issues with the pattern went really well. I didn't feel like it was too thick or anything. So I was thinking I'll get a worsted weight vest quantity to knit one for myself. But when I was there the first day, they just didn't have a ton of colors in the worsted weight options. Most of the dyers had more fingering and DK. But I saw this color on the first day and I was like, ooh, they don't have worsted, but I really like that color, so I'll have to think about what I could do with it. But they did have DK, so I thought about it later that night and everything, and went back and knew I wanted to get 3 of these in the DK to make a vest. And I think that what I'm going to do, instead of doing the Kreuzberg vest, because this also is like pretty solid, there's a little bit of variation, but it's going to be a nice like tonal, I'm going to do the Friday vest by Petite Knit. So it has some texture to it, and I think that will be really nice with this color. Also, another thing for this is that this is going to be my entry for the tomato soup core make along that High Fiber Knits and others are hosting, because I was kind of going for like a deep orange red color. This is kind of more brown, but like this still feels red to me, and I think it goes with the theme. The colorway is called Terracotta. Let me talk about the yarn and who dyed it. This is from Destination Yarn, hand-dyed yarn inspired by travel. So I had not heard of this brand before, but their booth was so beautiful. They had so many stunning like earthy colorways and a lot of tonals. They had a lot of other ones that I really liked. They had a little like Paris collection that I really liked. The colors, they were like muted and like kind of dark and like jewelry. Yeah, I really liked their booth, so that really drew me in. And then this really is like one of the colors I was really leaning towards, and I just love the like richness of it, but also that it's like still neutral, and I think this will be really, really nice for me to wear with jeans. So I'm probably just going to wear this with jeans and with like a black long sleeve shirt under it, or like a black jacket over it, something like that whenever it comes to winter. So a Friday vest in Destination Yarn. Souvenir DK is the yarn base, so that's like their basic DK. It's 100% superwash, and then the colorway is called Terracotta. So these are going to be a Friday vest, and I'm very happy. And then last thing, one more thing, is these 2 skeins. Yay! These are from Fleur de Stitched. And I was really excited to see her there. Fleur de Stitch is a Baton Rouge, Louisiana hand dyer, and I've been following her on Instagram for a while, and I'm from Baton Rouge. So I have used her yarn before, and it can be a little bit hard to find. It's definitely a small company, and so she was there, and I got to talk to her, and I was thinking about getting 2 skeins of matching fingering weight to make a tank top. So I talked to her about it a little bit, and this is her cotton base. She basically had like a fingering weight cotton and then like a sock yarn base, and that was kind of it. It was like kind of not a lot of different selections, but she was wearing a top that she made in this color. Hers had come out a little bit lighter. She said that how dark this one was a little bit of an accident, and I was like, that is my dream, because this is like, if it was lighter, I don't think I would have liked it as much, but I think this color is going to be perfect for a tank top, and it's 100% cotton fingering weight yarn. Yeah, the lanyap, it's like a Louisiana word for like a little something extra. So I don't know what the colorway is called or anything, but this might be kind of a one-of-a-kind thing if it came out darker than usual. But I'm going to make a tank top with these. So the two main ones that I'm looking at are camisole number 9, which I think I would just make it with more ease. The ones that people are making that are really tight, I think they look really nice on people. It's kind of like sporty and I think it's cute, but I think that doing it with a little bit more of a relaxed fit would be better for my style and more wearable for me. So I'm thinking that one or the mini mock neck tank by Jessie May. I really like the look of that one too, and I think that might be better for transitioning into fall if I end up starting this a bit later, because I probably should do this one first since this is more of a summer knit and then the vest is more of a fall knit, but something is telling me that I need to cast on that vest, so maybe I'll cast on both by next episode. But the mini mock neck tank I also think would work really well for me and definitely would be good for two skeins of fingering. Yeah, I'd probably do the modification that Nitty Natty made. She had to go back in and do it later on, but basically the pattern has more fabric on the front of the armhole than the back, which I think would just give you more room for your chest, that I probably don't need. So Nitty Natty ended up like taking that out, cutting it out and squishing it together, and like seaming it back up so that it would be even on the front and the back. So I'm gonna probably do that if I do make that pattern and make it the same on the front and the back, and do again probably a little bit like not as much like more ease, so that it just kind of, I want it to just kind of fall, like I don't need it to like hug my body. That's just my preference and my style. But both of those tank tops I like the idea of because they have more coverage. Like I want something that has like a wide strap. Like this tank top is fine. This tank top is falling apart because I've had it for so long and it was cheap to begin with. But like something even wider and even more coverage than this would be nice. Like if it came up higher, if the straps were wider, I think I would get a lot of wear out of that. It doesn't really matter what you wear under it, and that's what I'm looking for this. I feel like I learned my lesson from the camisole number 4 because I love that top, but it's hard to wear because I have to wear like one specific bra and I have to kind of like keep an eye on it and make sure it's not like falling weird and stuff. So I want to make something that's a little bit easier to wear. So that's why I'm leaning toward those two patterns. Yeah, so I spent a lot of money on yarn, but like I'm so happy with these selections and my projects that I'm going to be working on. Yeah, I'm just feeling like super positive about it. It was such an awesome like weekend, like seeing some of the like dyers and podcasters that I've been like seeing and following for a long time. I didn't really like talk to that many people. I'm kind of shy. I did see Nitty Natty and I talked to her briefly and we got a picture together. So I'll show you. That was really cool to see her. She was super nice, of course. Like she's so nice. You can just tell watching her videos and everything that she's such a sweet person, but she was really sweet and she gave me a hug and she gave me a sticker. So yeah, that was super cool, and I totally want to go back next year. I really want to look at going to other fiber festivals too. So many people have been talking recently about going to Flock in Seattle or like going to Rhinebeck and stuff like that, and I totally understand how like why people love it so much, and I feel like I'm like riding a high from it and wanting to work on all these projects, and it made me really want to film and get you caught up and everything. So yeah, I'm just like super happy about all that and really looking forward to all the knitting that I will be doing this fall. So that is really all that I have for you today. That's all, as in that wasn't like so much and one of my longest podcasts in a while, but um, I had a lot of fun with this today, and I'm so happy that you're all here and watching. These have been really fun to make, so um, yeah. Leave a comment. I actually, on my last podcast, got a few comments. So I'm telling you right now, if you're still here, go down to the comments, leave me a little comment, say hi. I want to talk to you. I want to be your friend. I feel like that's like why I want to do this. That's why I want to share, is to like kind of get a little bit of that connection with the community. So leave me a comment, tell me what your favorite yarn that I showed you was or something, and I will reply. And I'll see y'all in the next one. So you guys have a good week, and I'll see you soon.